Hello YouTube, MSG Retired here, and I'm going to be bringing you a Stolen Valor Spotlight for Christmas. I know it's a little bit before Christmas. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'm working tonight 3 to 11, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to get a video out for Christmas, so it's going to be out a day early. And I hope you enjoy it. I know I wasn't going to do one until January, but you guys have been great. You've been subscribing to my channel and giving me lots of comments, lots of likes, lots of support on my YouTube channel. So I figured I'd bring you another one. Now, this guy, he makes Jeremy Dewitte look like a peon when it comes to stolen valor. This guy, if you're going to steal valor, steal all of it, because this guy does it. And rather than subject you to looking at my ugly mug while I sit here and yak, I'm going to go ahead and go to militaryphony.com. And I would love for all of you to go to militaryphony.com. Go ahead and make a small donation just to keep them going. These guys are fantastic. They dig right down into the weeds on every one of their investigations, and they will not even post one until they are 100% certain it's a case of stolen valor. And in the case of Roy King, Green Beret, Delta Force, Congressional Medal of Honor, Silver Star, Purple Heart, blog of shame. Yep, this is definitely a blog of shame. This guy has got some of the most outrageous claims I've ever heard. And he does it all on video. They do a big video, a couple of guys do a video interview with this guy, and he sits there and spews out some bullshit like you would not believe. I did make some notes. As of now, Roy's 71 years old, lives in Arkansas, claiming 5th Group SF to start out with in his videos. He did his basic training at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and says that he enlisted for the Special Forces option. So he never really went to an AIT. He went to selection for Special Forces. That was his AIT. And let's take a look here at the website. There's a picture of Roy with his fake Special Forces certificate. But up here, just above in his service claims, Special Forces, Green Beret, Delta Force, Sniper, Sergeant Major, 17 years, 7 months, awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, Silver Star, Purple Heart, served in Nigeria, fought in Vietnam, served in Benghazi, which I don't really see that in the videos. I hear where he says he would have been one of the guys to go to Benghazi had they sent anybody. He said he did a bunch of covert operations alongside SEAL Team 6. That would have been a feat in itself. He was captured, waterboarded. I didn't see that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He captured and waterboarded Osama bin Laden's driver to pinpoint his location. I didn't see that in the videos. These are probably claims that he has made that they have evidence of. He's and also had Osama bin Laden in his crosshairs when a ceasefire was called. Like I said, if you're going to steal valor, steal all of it. So this was done in February 2019. Here he is with his fake certificate. He's been telling quite some stories to his family members. And this is some of the stuff that he's claimed. You know, Special Forces, Green Beret, Ranger, Delta Force, Sergeant Major, the Congressional Medal of Honor, which right there, that is a stolen valor violation. Purple Heart, also under the new ruling, is a stolen valor violation. And he says his first wife sold that stuff in a yard sale. Trained in some type of martial arts, said he was CIA, says he was an attorney. He claims that on LinkedIn and Facebook. He jumped from a helicopter onto an enemy sniper below to save his men, and he broke both of his wrists. All while Stormin' Norman was in the helicopter. Yeah, okay. Claims to have been shot 3 times and stabbed with a bayonet 5 times. That's in the videos. Captured and waterboarded the driver, blah, blah. Covert along SEAL Team 6. You know, and it's beyond their scope to do the CIA martial arts stuff, but as far as the military stuff goes, these guys dug into this. So here's a picture of his fake Special Forces certificate. And back then, the certificate never even would have looked like that. Also, it would have had his social security number on it because that's what they use as your service number. Here's some of the bling that he's got on a jacket that's hanging up in the video, and you'll be able to see that. He claims this is a 5th group jump wings. There's no such thing. It might be a unit, you know, thing you put on your hat or whatever. It's not even made right. The wings are upside down. Actually, he's got it on there upside down because the patch is upside down as well. Good job, Sergeant Major. He's got a CIB with 2 stars. Well, I'm not going to get into this until we get farther down. Here's his Fort Polk, Louisiana. His United States Army Training Center Infantry. Now I'm going to put down in the description of this video a link to this right here. It's all 13 videos linked together in a playlist. And you'll be able to watch them in its entirety. It's 19 minutes, 24 seconds. But he sat down and did this big, long interview with these guys. And this is what I got out of the videos. His intro, then they talk about basic training in AIT. Well, he went to basic training at Fort Polk, Louisiana. His AIT was supposedly for Special Forces selection, which is not an MOS. Nowadays, it's called 18 X-ray. It's an enlistment option that puts you in the pipeline to go through the steps to become a Green Beret. And I only know this stuff because I've looked it up. I know very little about Special Forces. While I was stationed at Fort Bragg, I had a couple of friends of mine that were Special Forces, a neighbor that was Special Forces. One of my other neighbors who was in 325 Infantry, he went to Delta selection. You don't have to be Special Forces to go to Delta selection, and he was actually picked up by Delta and finished out his time. I think he retired as a Sergeant Major with Delta. However, Roy didn't do any of that. He talks about his AIT being the selection course. Jump school. He doesn't really get into a whole lot about jump school. But after jump school, he went to the SFQ course at Bragg, which is the Special Forces Qualification Course, which it's got another name now. I'm not sure what it is. I've been retired since 2011. And it's been a long time since I was at Bragg. I left Fort Bragg in 1987 and never could get back there, get stationed there afterwards. So he says he finished his Q course in here, and then his first Special Forces deployment was to Nigeria for about 6 months, where they took out all the rebels and then helped put in a stable government. Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't see any of that. And he claims 5th Group Special Forces, but that's not in any of the 5th Group Special Forces history that I could find. And there's a lot of stuff that he talks about 5th Group that's horseshit. Next, here's his Nigeria video where he talks about going to Nigeria. That was his first thing. And then he talks about Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, he says he went to Cambodia, and his SF platoon was to secure an ammo depot. And then after they got the ammo depot secured, there were replacements that came in. It took over for them. And then they went out and did missions in the Mekong Valley, which that makes no sense either. Because, number one, Special Forces never, they weren't guards. They would have put an infantry platoon there to guard an ammo depot. They definitely would not have put a special forces unit there to guard something. Special forces mainly worked with the indigenous people in country, trained them, and that was their mission. They were some high speed badass people back then. This guy not so much. So he talks about Vietnam and what he did. They were moved from guarding that army depot or that ammo depot, and then they had his platoon went and saved the 2nd Infantry Division and also an unknown Marine Division. He couldn't remember the name, couldn't make up the lie fast enough, but they went to save them because they were losing a lot of guys in battle. No, that's also probably it's bullshit. That's all I can say. Now he talks about his medals, and he points out the Distinguished Army Cross. Then he says Bronze Star and changes that to Gold Star, which he's got 4 of them, Silver Star, and then he mentions the Congressional Medal of Honor, which he did not have on display, which is in fact a stolen valor violation. Could be prosecuted for that. He says Senior Infantry Badge. This right up, right at the top of his ribbon rack in that video picture right there. He's got 2 stars on it. I don't know how he would have gotten 2 stars. That's a very uncommon thing. But he points out some of his ribbons, his Silver Star. Then he talks also about the 5th Group Airborne Badge, which he's got upside down on the lapel, which is not even an award. And then he goes into talking about air assault. And I found this was hilarious. Pardon me. He talks about the air assault badge, and the air assault badge is supposed to represent platoon sergeants and squad leaders that have been trained on how to fly a helicopter. They have to be able to take off, fly 5 miles, and land. And that's what he says the air assault badge is for. Which I went to air assault school at Fort Campbell, and the school's no joke. It's 10 days of just pure physical exhaustion, basically. You'll learn a lot of good stuff. You learn about sling loading, up and down a troop ladder into a Chinook. You jump out of a helicopter into a netted area in the trees and you rappel down. It's a killer course. Anybody that's in the military that gets a chance to go to air assault school, go. But you better be in good shape before you go. Has nothing to do with if the helicopter pilot gets killed, you take over the controls. You got to watch these videos, guys. This stuff is hilarious. And like I said, he makes Jeremy look like a peon when it comes to stolen valor. And how this clown can sit there with a straight face and spew this BS is beyond me. Next, he talks about his wounds. He was shot 3 times, twice in one arm, once in the other arm. He was stabbed 5 times by a bayonet. Well, I guess his own guys were stabbing him. I don't know. Somebody should have. He broke both of his wrists and broke a foot. Those were his wounds, so to speak. And then he talks about his call sign. Everybody goes by call signs. Nobody, they're not nicknames, they're call signs. And this guy says, Sheer Brandy 6 was his call sign. The whole time he was in, that was his call sign. Well, a 6 designator is usually company commander. Like my last deployment, we had Black Hat 6, which was our company commander. Black Hat 7 was the first sergeant, and then you had Black Hat 17, which would be first platoon, platoon sergeant. And it's just, that's the way it is. It's nothing like what this clown is saying. So then he talks about his call sign. Then he talks about Delta. Hey, I got news for you there, Bubba. Delta wasn't formed until 1977. So he says in here that he was in Vietnam for 9 months, and he was co-located with SEAL Team 6. That's a good one because SEAL Team 6 wasn't formed until 1980. And he said 5th Group basically was the feeder for Delta Force. And then he deployed with SEAL Team 6 many times. Roy. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. None of this shit adds up. The math never adds up. And none of what you say you did adds up. Says he had a 17-year career, 7 months. He did 17 years and 7 months. And, yeah. So, I painfully sat here and watched the entire list of videos and took notes. Now, as always, Military Phony, these guys went out and did an FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request, and got his MPRC records. And these are the results, and I'll just make this bigger. So, this is pretty much what happened. Roy Dale King was in the United States Army Reserve. So, back in '69, he probably joined the reserve to keep from being drafted. That would be my guess. He served from April 12th, 1969 to April 11th, 1977, which was 8 years, versus his claim of 17 years, 7 months. Notice the April 1977. 1977 was the year Delta Force was formed. SEAL Team 6 still hadn't been formed yet. So, you know, you start bouncing numbers, they don't make it. They don't add up. His active duty dates, he spent exactly 120 days on active duty. That was his entire active duty time. And that was basic training and AIT. He was discharged as a staff sergeant. You come down here to his awards. No Valor Medals, no Congressional Medal of Honor, no Distinguished Service Cross, no Silver Star, no Bronze Stars, no Purple Hearts, no Combat Infantry Badge. None of that shit. He didn't earn any of it. We'll go back here and we'll look at his assignments next. Like I said, 120 days of active duty, and the rest is reserve duty. And it looks like he was at, he was all, every bit of it was in Arkansas. And he had an outside the continental United States. He didn't have any. He was in an engineering battalion instead of 5th Group, Special Forces. His annual trainings were 19 days, 0 days, 14 days. And duty beyond August 1974 was redacted. Not sure why that was, because he was in until 77. I'm not sure why this was redacted here, unless he was, I don't know, maybe AWOL or missing in action. I'm not even going to try and, you know, decipher what was going on there. This was the full boat that you get back from MPRC. It's got the cover letter, and then the cover sheet that lists all of his military stuff, and then his assignments with the redaction, which I'm not sure what that means. And they did a manpower database check, nothing listed. And this was a DD-214 that they were able to obtain that I guess he provided. One of the biggest things that stands out is the handwritten Desert Storm, Iraq Freedom, Enduring Freedom on here. However, when you look up here, and let me enlarge this, he did 4 months active duty. 4 months! And then 2 months other service. But you see the years here. Nope. Didn't do any years active duty. But he's putting all of this in here in the award section. Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, Enduring Freedom. He wasn't even in. And he got this as a PV2. So the only DD-214 that he received was when he left AIT. They gave him a 214 as an E2. with 4 months of active duty time. I would love to see what his reserve 214 looked like, but I don't think they didn't have a copy of that. And they talk about, things not adding up. Dollar bill equals 20. That's pretty funny. And they just tear this thing apart. United States Army Reserve. He was an auto mechanic, not a sniper. The handwritten entries, no jump school, no special forces, no valor awards. He was released on 1 November 1969 from active duty. So that's the end of the year 69. And by the way, 5th Group SF came out of Vietnam in 71, I believe. They returned to Fort Bragg. He did 4 months total active duty, and he has no foreign service. Of course, that was just his basic training. Here's some of the crap that he bought on the internet, obviously, because none of this shit is available. We'll just take a quick look. U.S. Special Operations Command, CIA. Yeah, sure. And let's see, we can move forward here. Special Forces, Force Recon. Qualified in hand-to-hand combat and all tactical weapons. Wow. Wish I had one of those. That's yet something else. He got a free card somewhere and typed his info in on it. And then some kind of badge, special agent. And it's really not all that visible on the badge. Then he claims he was an attorney on LinkedIn and his Facebook page. And then they go into a summary and they talk about it. Here he is right here. Good old Roy. What? He, like I said, he makes Jeremy Dewitte look like a peon when it comes to Stolen Valor, because this guy has cornered the market on it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has cornered the market on Stolen Valor. So, I'll give you my final thoughts. I went through my notes. He was discharged in April 77 as a staff sergeant with 120 days of active duty. But yet, he's got the audacity to claim Congressional Medal of Honor, Legion of Merit. He calls it an Army Distinguished Cross or whatever he called it. His gold stars, also known as bronze stars, and the silver star, which also has a gold star on it, but the little star in the center is silver. His expert infantry badge, times and dates don't match up. If he went through basic and AIT in 69, came out of AIT in 69, he still would have had to have gone to jump school, and he got out in November of 69, so he would have had to go to jump school and get a slot for that. Then he would have had to go to the Special Forces Q course, which would have put him long into 1970, almost into 71 most likely. But by the time he finished jump school, SF qualification was assigned, and he said he did 9 months in Vietnam, I think. The times just, they don't add up, especially since 5th Group came out of Vietnam in like April of 71. They came out early in 71, returned to Fort Bragg, and trust me, 5th Special Forces Group did a lot in Vietnam. Those guys are some super badass heroes right there for sure. So hats off to any of my Special Forces guys out there. You guys are amazing. I know very little about what you do. I had a neighbor, some friends. I had a couple of SF guys that I used to ride dirt bikes with over at Texas Pond at Fort Bragg back in the late 80s. They used to keep their dirt bikes at my house. Great guys, super guys, would do anything for you. Just do anything for you. Just that kind of guy. And it really shows their professionalism and stuff. This guy, Roy, he's a sack of shit, period. That's all there is to it. So, like I said, he makes Jeremy look bad. Anyway, that's going to be your Christmas Stolen Valor spotlight. Hope everyone's healthy and happy, and wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'll be bringing you one of my monthly videos in January. So with that, I'll sign off. Have a great day.